Hello and welcome to our overview of Azure Infrastructure as a Service offerings. I am Mark Keane, a technical solutions professional working for Microsoft. I deal with Azure pre-sales technical discussions on a daily basis. Let's jump in. Today we want to talk about the infrastructure that enables cloud computing, what's happening in the market. So we'll begin by defining infrastructure as a service. Then we'll talk about why Azure is an industry-leading IaaS provider, before we deep dive into the technologies that Azure offers to build your infrastructure. Productive, hybrid, intelligent, trusted. In order to satisfy the demands of keeping up in the modern world, you need a platform that has these 4 qualities. This is the unique value proposition that Microsoft offers. From the Gartner report, Developing a Public Cloud IaaS Adoption and Migration Framework, published March 2017, let's cover the journey to the cloud. Rehosting. Rehosting is also referred to as lift and shift. In essence, the application is moved into the IaaS environment of a cloud provider while avoiding as many modifications to the system as possible. In this case, you would not be taking advantage of cloud technologies such as auto-scaling, for example. When to consider rehosting? Ideal for when your goal is to improve operational efficiencies and to free up data center space. Maintenance apps for which the hardware is not worth additional investment, and compute-intensive applications that are built for parallelism but don't require high-performance inter-process communications and have independent data sets and applications for which load balancing already increases scalability and availability. Benefits: drives higher ROI, return on investment, 435% from migration to IaaS. You can test out the TCO calculator. No need to also manage your data centers. Enjoy flexible and scalable infrastructure. So the core technologies here are VMs and VM scale sets. The other option is to refactor. So refactoring an application involves some change to the application design, but not wholesale changes to the application code. The application takes advantage of IaaS and potentially PaaS capabilities from the provider while maintaining code strategic to the application's use case. Customers typically have a large portfolio of custom developed on-prem applications, .NET and OSS, e.g. Java. They are concerned about cost efficiency, security, and ongoing management and evolution of these apps. They are interested in the cloud to address these concerns, but are worried about how they can get there in an efficient way that optimizes, modernizes the application, and to make it more portable as they journey to the cloud. They are increasingly looking to containers as a vehicle to modernize and move their applications to the cloud without significantly re-architecting their solutions. Benefits of refactoring: drive continuous innovation by leveraging built-in DevOps or using containers, easily scale up or down to meet the changing needs of business, improved portability and density, existing program models, languages and frameworks that can easily be used and extended. Technologies used: containers, container orchestrators, Docker Swarm, DCOS, Mesosphere or Kubernetes. Rearchitect is another way of doing it. Rearchitecting an application for cloud usage enables you to take advantage of technologies such as auto-scale and dynamic reconfiguration. This process will require developer resources to implement and can take significant time to implement. When to consider this? When apps need a major revision to incorporate new capabilities to take advantage of cloud-native capabilities. The benefits of re-architecting: deliver new capabilities and modernization through a modified codebase and a monolithic to microservices architectural revision. Reduce the volume of code needed to express a capability while still leveraging existing investments. And agility and scale. The core technologies here as part of re-architecting is PaaS, e.g. Azure App Service, or there's Serverless, Azure Functions and Logic Apps, or microservices, which is Service Fabric, for instance. As you can see, the journey to the cloud includes many service scenarios. On the left, you have a traditional on-premises infrastructure which you manage completely on your own. On the right, you have software as a service, which includes all the web-based tools and applications you use to run your business. Think of Office 365 or Dynamics 365, running completely in the cloud and managed fully by the vendor that provides a service. In the middle, we have infrastructure and platform services. Building out your cloud infrastructure is your first step in moving to the cloud. Infrastructure as a service is an instant computing infrastructure provisioned and managed over the internet. It enables you to quickly scale up and down with demand and pay only for what you use. IaaS helps you avoid the expense and complexity of buying and managing your own physical servers and other data center infrastructure. Each resource is offered as a separate service component, and you only need to rent a particular one for as long as you need it. The cloud computing service provider manages the infrastructure while you purchase, install, configure, and manage your own software, operating systems, middleware, and applications. The greatest challenges organizations face in implementing cloud platforms and technologies include a lack of resources and expertise, security and managing cloud spend, all 25%, as well as compliance and governance and control, both 23%. RightScale. Based on the RightScale report, 1,002 technical professional respondents. The greatest challenges: lack of resources and expertise, security, managing cloud spend, compliance, governance, and control. As you saw earlier, many customers are moving to infrastructure as a service. While the cloud offers many benefits, customers are also facing a few challenges presented by a fast evolving cloud environment. For example, complex, heterogeneous workloads. With so many infrastructure services on the market today, it's difficult to know where to start. Maybe you want to maintain control of your data on-prem, while taking advantage of the innovative fabric of cloud infrastructure. Perhaps you want to leverage some of the existing investments in your on-prem infrastructure while also optimizing the scalability and agility of the cloud. Acquisitions and partnerships can also complicate IaaS adoption, creating a need to improve scale and performance. Application workloads may be creating a demand for increased capacity and performance requirements. Cost and time of implementation. Cloud spend is on the rise. In fact, according to IDC, cloud services spending will grow 7 times faster than overall IT spending. With a massive shift to the cloud, customers are trying to get a comprehensive picture of how resources are being allocated and whether assets are being optimized. And once the usage is identified, customers want to be able to govern how the cloud assets are allocated across the organization. Even if economics and use benefits work out, migration can be complex and time-consuming. Security and management concerns. Cyber threats are becoming increasingly sophisticated, attacking data in transit and data at rest in data centers worldwide. Many companies fear that with data spread across the globe in the cloud, it's difficult to protect business-critical information. Managing security for on-prem and cloud environments is the top priority for IT professionals. Azure IaaS solutions offer a modern infrastructure for all your workloads, secure and well-managed, and a cost-effective environment. Let's drill down into each of these benefits. Azure is actively expanding its infrastructure around the globe, including being the first cloud provider with data centers in South Africa. In fact, we have made a $10 billion investment in our data centers in order to develop the infrastructure for all workloads. Right now, we're at 50 Azure regions globally, more than AWS and Google combined. Unlike other providers, we feel it makes a crucial difference in customer experience to have data close to employees and customers, as well as offering individual data handling capabilities. The public cloud is about commoditized hardware. What do we mean when we say modern infrastructure? Azure IaaS offers a purpose-built IT infrastructure designed to fit your company's needs, rather than the other way around. This is accomplished through utilizing the experience we've gained in a 300,000 plus partner global ecosystem, which is 5 times greater than Google's partner network. Microsoft also has deep experience in many different kinds of industries. Our global data centers offer you support for all your applications when and where you need it. We are differentiated by our customers by offering a first-class experience that has been recognized by such partner certifications as SAP and Red Hat. And we can tailor our support for any specialized needs you have, regardless of whether you are managing on-premises, hybrid, or cloud-only infrastructures. Purpose-built infrastructure. A combination of virtual machines and purpose-built large instances provides the largest scale and widest range for your workloads. With an on-demand infrastructure, you can leverage permanent billing and scale your CPU and RAM usage up and down based on your application workloads. However, for large instances, on-demand infrastructure can be cost prohibitive. That's why Azure offers purpose-built infrastructures which allow you to customize your infrastructure based on your specific workload needs. For cloud access, BYOS, as well as on-demand PAYG deployments, Linux and open source, which is why we provide the hardware for Windows and Linux platforms. Given Microsoft makes Windows Server, there's no better place to run Windows platforms than on Windows Server. They were quite literally made for each other. But we don't stop at Windows. 33% of our partners are running Linux, which is why Microsoft has established relationships with the big Linux providers. In fact, Microsoft is doing something the industry has never seen before. We've developed an integrated support model with Red Hat support sitting with our support teams in Redmond. Red Hat really impressed us with its enterprise-grade support. We were surprised that Red Hat open source and Azure support resided in the same office, said Richard Hum, studio head at Throwback Entertainment. Azure Infrastructure as a Service provides customers with a secure and familiar platform, so IT can move their Microsoft on-prem applications in a cost-effective way. Microsoft applications and Azure have been built to work together with flexibility, high compatibility, and hybrid capabilities. Customers can use the same familiar technologies they've been using for years without learning new platforms, processes, and procedures to speed productivity, reduce onboarding time with systems their staff is already familiar with, and lower staffing costs without the need for highly specialized or trained users. The previously listed challenges are directly addressed in the following manner. Get unparalleled cost savings. By keeping your Microsoft workloads on a Microsoft platform, you can take advantage of increased savings through licensing perks, the Azure Hybrid benefit. Remove the ambiguity of moving to the cloud with tactical steps designed to guide you on your way. We've helped numerous organizations map out and execute their migration strategies. Also leverage a variety of tools available to you, including Azure Migrate, reduced data center footprint, first-class first-party support. No need to switch back and forth between workload and platform providers. Modernize your applications beyond infrastructure. With Azure IaaS, customers can build upon their existing investments in a highly flexible manner that allows you to move between the cloud and back depending on your specific organizational needs. Gain up to 80% efficiency with Azure PaaS. ISVs get your app certified and putting them in front of over 500,000 Azure customers. Flexible pricing model, PAYG and BYOL. You saw how Rio Tinto benefited by migrating their SAP landscape to Azure. Now let's talk about a customer that's running SAP HANA on Azure. Rockwell Automation is a leading industrial automation company with 22,500 employees and customers in more than 80 countries. Rockwell Automation wanted to strengthen its competitive advantage and open new business opportunities in the oil and gas industry by automating the collection and analysis of data from remote installations across a petroleum supply chain. Rockwell chose Azure for their HANA deployments and decided to go with the purpose-built SAP HANA infrastructure for scale and performance. In addition to HANA, Rockwell is using Azure IoT and Azure Machine Learning to combine data from HANA and non-HANA sources, apply advanced analytics, and predict failures of their industrial systems. With this, they're saving $300,000 each day by predicting maintenance scenarios ahead of time. A great example of a customer benefiting from not only running HANA on Azure, but also taking advantage of the intelligent services in Azure. Moving to the cloud is a journey unique to each organization. It's not an all or nothing scenario. You can keep as much of your infrastructure on-prem or move it to the cloud as you need to optimize your compute, networking, and storage needs. Azure Infrastructure as a Service solutions make it easy to tailor a solution that's right for you. Simply put, Azure IaaS helps you connect your on-premises infrastructure to the cloud. You might want to with network offerings such as ExpressRoute or VPN. If you would like to move some of your virtual machine compute capacity to the cloud, you can save money with Azure Hybrid benefit. And if you're running SQL Server, you can move it to a virtual machine or SQL managed instance. You can also easily migrate your storage from on-premises to the cloud with Azure IaaS. Azure Stack enables you to build the same components for your on-prem infrastructure as for your cloud infrastructure. So there's no need to build components twice, making the infrastructure management so easy. Once you're connected to the cloud, Azure Active Directory helps with identity management across all of your assets. Now that you've built a secure cloud-based infrastructure, it's time to start migrating your data. Azure Stack is an extension of Azure. We're trying to make this ring true in everything we do. Use cases, product capabilities, support, ecosystem approach, packaging, pricing, etc. Azure Stack brings the agility and innovation of cloud computing to on-premises environments. Organizations can now build modern applications across hybrid cloud environments with the right flexibility and control. The consistency is key. Developers can build applications using a consistent set of Azure services and DevOps processes and tools, then collaborate with operations to deploy to the location that best meets the business, technical, and regulatory requirements. Developers can speed up new cloud application development by using pre-built solutions from the Azure Marketplace, including open source tools and technologies. I'd like to start with some use cases to illustrate the value of Azure and Azure Stack. As we go through them, you'll hopefully see how we are unblocking new scenarios and business opportunities for you. There are 3 groups of cases which we're seeing based on early adopter customers, which we will click down on. Edge and disconnected solutions. You can address latency and connectivity requirements by processing data locally in Azure Stack and then aggregating in Azure for further analytics with common application logic across both. We're seeing lots of interest in this edge scenario across different contexts, including factory floors, cruise ships, and mine shafts. Cloud applications that meet varied regulations. You can develop and deploy applications in Azure with full flexibility to deploy on-premises on Azure Stack to meet regulatory or policy requirements with no code changes needed. Many customers are looking to deploy different instances of the same application. For example, a global audit or financial reporting app to Azure or Azure Stack based on business and technical requirements. While Azure meets most requirements, Azure Stack enables on-premises deployments in locations where it's needed. Saxo Bank is a great example of an organization who plan to leverage the deployment flexibility enabled by Azure Stack. Cloud application model on-premises. You can use Azure Web, mobile services, containers, serverless, and microservice architectures to update and extend existing applications or build new ones. You can use consistent DevOps processes across Azure in the cloud and Azure Stack on-premises. We're seeing broad interest in application modernization, including core mission-critical applications. Mitsui is a great example of an organization planning their application modernization roadmap using Azure Stack and Azure. More compliance coverage than AWS and Google. We have 71 certs today. GDPR gives individuals greater control over their personal data and imposes many new obligations on organizations that collect, handle, or analyze personal data. Microsoft is committed to meeting GDPR compliance across all our cloud services. Enforcement began on May 25, 2018. Microsoft Azure provides industry-leading security measures and privacy policies to safeguard your data in the cloud, allowing customers to meet your GDPR obligations using services like Azure Security Center and Azure Key Vault. Azure has a full set of built-in services to meet all your security and management needs. I understand there's a lot more you need to manage and secure in your IT environment, both in the cloud and on premises. Your job is complex and challenging. We have a whole set of tools natively in Azure to help you manage the full life cycle of security and management. We covered security capabilities protecting your data. Besides Azure Backup, we also discussed how Azure Site Recovery helps in disaster recovery. In monitoring, we are bringing all the monitoring capabilities together in Azure Monitor, including application insights, log analytics, network watcher, and other monitoring tools. We also have tools for configuration, patching, automation, and PowerShell scripting. We have new exciting tools in the governance area. Azure Policy in limited preview helps you centrally manage your policies. Azure Cost Management, previously known as Cloud-In, helps organizations manage and optimize your cloud spend across a multi-cloud environment. Plus, they're all built into our platform so you don't have to worry about third-party integration. gathering rich intelligence about your cloud infrastructure and resources with advanced analytics and machine learning algorithms, and are hybrid, extending security and management capabilities from the cloud to your on-premises environment. In this presentation, I'll walk you through 3 services that will get you started easily to secure and manage your Azure resources. Take simple steps to start securing and managing your Azure VMs. I just showed you the full security and management service portfolio Azure has. You may ask, how do I get started? There are 3 simple steps that you can start with to ensure your Azure cloud is secure and well managed. Number 1, secure your Azure resources, such as virtual machines, workloads, and apps with Azure Security Center. With Azure Security Center, you gain full visibility and control of your cloud security state with a single unified view. Collect security data from multiple sources. Collect, search, and analyze security data from a variety of sources, including connected partner solutions like network firewalls and other Microsoft services. Integration with existing security workflows. Access, integrate, and analyze security information using REST APIs to connect existing tools and processes. Easily onboard cloud resources. Keep pace with rapidly changing cloud workloads. Automatically discover and onboard new resources created in your Azure subscriptions. Continuous security assessment. Monitor the security of virtual machines, networks, and Azure services using hundreds of built-in security assessments, or create your own. Built-in dashboards provide instant insights into security issues that require attention. Centralized policy management. Ensure compliance with company or regulatory security requirements by centrally managing security policies across all your cloud workloads. Compliance reporting. Use security data and insights to demonstrate compliance and easily generate evidence for auditors. If I ask whether Azure Security Center supports hybrid workloads, the answer is yes. Manage security across all your hybrid cloud workloads, on-prem, Azure, and other cloud platforms, all in one console. You can also identify and mitigate risks proactively to reduce your exposure to security threats. Proactive security assessment. Identify software and configurations that are vulnerable to attack. Actionable recommendations. Remediate security vulnerabilities before they can be exploited by attackers with prioritized actionable security recommendations and built-in automation playbooks. Adaptive application controls. Block malware and other unwanted applications by applying whitelisting recommendations adapted to your specific workloads and powered by machine learning. Controlled network access. Reduce the network attack service with just-in-time controlled access to management ports on Azure VMs, drastically reducing exposure to brute force and other network attacks. Azure Security Center has robust capabilities to prevent attacks. When threats do happen, Azure Security Center can quickly detect and respond to threats with advanced analytics and Microsoft's Intelligent Security Graph. Industry's most extensive threat intelligence. Tap into Microsoft's Intelligent Security Graph, which uses trillions of signals from Microsoft services and systems around the globe to identify new and evolving threats. Advanced threat detection. Use built-in behavioral analytics and machine learning to identify attacks and zero-day exploits. Monitor networks, machines, and cloud services for known attack patterns and post-breach activity. Prioritized alerts and incidents. Focus on the most critical threats first with prioritized security alerts and incidents that map alerts of different types into a single attack campaign. Create your own custom security alerts as well. Streamlined investigation. Quickly assess the scope and impact of an attack with a visual interactive experience. Use predefined or ad hoc queries for deeper exploration of security data. Contextual threat intelligence. Visualize a source of attacks on an interactive world map. Use built-in threat intelligence reports to gain valuable insight into the techniques and objectives of non-malicious actors. The second way to ensure your Azure cloud is secure and well managed is to protect your data in Azure with Azure Backup, protect against ransomware and human errors, meet compliance goals with data retention and encryption, and start backup in minutes and restore data quickly when needed. And the third way is to continuously monitor your cloud health with Azure's Log Analytics. Collect and store your data from any source, gain deep operational insights, and detect, diagnose, and fix issues quickly. As we've already discussed, Azure has built-in security and management technologies. These tools help improve your productivity through deep product integration into Azure and built-in intelligence. These tools help improve your productivity through deep product integration into Azure and built-in intelligence. These tools are modern software and service applications that you don't need to worry about the additional expense and operational issues typically associated with virtual machines, and they are always up to date. Finally, these tools support hybrid, which enables you to get a single view across Azure and your data center. We recognize customers have made choices for their security and management vendors on-prem and may want to continue with these vendors on Azure. It is super important that your Azure workloads are secure and well managed, and you can choose to use your existing solutions as Azure has an open ecosystem. In the case of security, Azure Security Center deeply integrates with a common set of partners that protect endpoint protection, web application, and next-generation firewalls, or even vulnerability assessments. You can use Azure Security Center to monitor and in some cases provision these products. In the case of backup, you may choose to use Azure Backup or one of a number of third-party partners such as Commvault, Veritas, or Veeam. We have seen many customers choose the built-in Azure Backup to back up their Azure virtual machines on Azure, while at the same time choosing to continue with their on-premises backup vendor while moving those workloads into the cloud. In the case of monitoring, you can choose to use the built-in Azure technologies that span application, network and infrastructure, or a wide range of partner solutions or any of your existing vendors through integration with Azure Monitor. For the remainder of today's session, I'm going to focus on the built-in tools. Indeed, the real cost savings come if you're able to migrate totally from an in-house IT system to one wholly supported by Azure IaaS. Forrester Consulting found potential cost savings saved over 5 years to be $24.6 million. Reduced overhead costs are the majority of the savings, followed by reduced outsource contracts. Cost reduction is not the only way Azure helps customers save money on IaaS. Customers find that there are also savings inherent to the value that cloud resources provide. For example, if you spend twice as much to run a workload in the cloud, but you get 3 times the value, for example, due to the fast time to results or the ability to run simulations at the finer resolution due to adding greater capacity, that's a net win. Customers often find value in the additional capacity or flexibility the cloud can offer, adding more compute without having to plan data center space or trying out new hardware by renting instead of making a large capital investment. Many organizations have very specialized systems in-house, InfiniBand, interconnects, high RAM, parallel file systems, etc., that are optimized to deliver maximum performance for key workloads. But the clusters also end up being used for other workloads that don't need or can't use the specialized hardware. Leveraging cloud to move the workloads that don't need specialized hardware into the cloud so that more jobs can be run on the optimized hardware makes the total environment deliver greater value. One customer cut manufacturing simulation from months to hours by moving a small internal cluster to an 8,000 core cloud cluster. The data center would have to be expanded in order to add compute capacity in-house. By moving these additional workloads to the cloud, they were able to quickly get the additional compute capacity that made the business improvements possible. In these and many other cases, in-house resources might have been cheaper per unit of compute, but using cloud resources developed greater value as the speed and ease of adding extra capacity delivered the benefits of scale to the business more rapidly. When you're considering the cost of using public cloud for big compute, remember to consider the benefits too. With Azure, there are many ways that we're working hard to save customers money. This starts with our price match commitment. Take price of the equation on commodity services relative to AWS. If there is a comparable service, we'll have the same price. Innovative products and services, low priority VMs, B-series and new burstable core VM size, and archival storage and other low-cost solutions. Cost and governance, cloud-in capabilities to help customers better understand and manage their spend, Azure Advisor helps customers optimize their resources for better performance, security, and costs. Compelling offers. Azure Hybrid Benefit provides the lowest cost for Windows Server in the cloud. License Mobility brings SQL Server to the cloud. Visual Studio subscription Azure benefits, and soon to be announced, an updated free tier account to provide a broad range of services at no cost. In addition, to help you save money on VMs, reserved instances. You can save up to 82% on the on-demand price of running Windows Server apps in virtual machines when you combine the Azure Hybrid benefit with reserved VM instance offerings. With Azure Cost Management, Azure is the only cloud platform vendor that offers an end-to-end cloud cost management and optimization solution supporting a multi-cloud environment, Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud Platform. With Azure Cost Management, customers can monitor cloud spend, visualize data in a consolidated and custom view, track usage and cost trends, detect spend anomalies and usage inefficiencies, forecast future spend based on historical data. You can also drive organizational accountability, allocate usage and costs using resource tags, produce chargeback and showback reports, let teams access data and insights with role-based access control, alert stakeholders automatically for spend anomalies and overspending risks, and you can also optimize cloud efficiency, increase resource utilization with virtual machine right-sizing, eliminate idle resources, and improve reserved instance management. What customers are looking to migrate? Servers, Windows Server, Linux, physical or virtual. Lift and shift legacy apps, e.g. web servers and infrastructure, e.g. AD, DNS to Azure IaaS. Refactor corporate apps workloads to Office 365, e.g. SharePoint, Exchange, Lync, and Skype for Business. Modernize critical workloads to the latest OS in Azure. Databases, SQL Server, lift and shift SQL Server apps to Azure SQL Database Managed Instance. Consider SQL IaaS for third-party integration needs. Lift and shift SQL Data Warehouse or BI workloads to Azure SQL Database Managed Instance or Azure SQL Data Warehouse. Modernize critical SQL apps to Azure SQL Database. Data is another one people are looking to migrate. Archive, blob, or file servers. Replicate over the network, e.g. Azure Copy, Azure Archive Storage. Refactor file servers to Azure Files. Transfer offline based on data volume, e.g. Azure Databox or Azure's Import-Export service. And the other one people are looking to migrate is applications. Internal line of business apps or customer-facing apps, .NET, or the LAMP stack, Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Rehost legacy apps on Azure IaaS. Refactor critical app components, e.g. Azure Container Service or DevOps. And re-architect key apps, e.g. Azure App Service and Azure Functions. Let's talk about the various paths along the migration journey. It all starts with discovering your on-prem applications, data, and infrastructure, assessing them for migration readiness, and determine the mix of tactics that you'll use during the move, ranging from a simple lift and shift to various levels of modernization during migration, i.e. refactor, re-architect, or rebuild. And then once in Azure, how do you keep your workloads optimized continuously? For example, security, monitoring, backups, OpEx spends. Note, in some cases you might just retire the workload or replace it with a SaaS solution. We won't cover those aspects in detail here.